Hey guys, welcome back. As you may have seen in my last video, I have a 3D printer. And over the last few days, I've been, having my first attempt at printing my own miniatures. And it has a learning curve. I have to admit, it does have a learning curve. There's a lot of things that you need to learn. Things like exposure times, curing times, support design. Even with certain models you can get which are pre-supported, don't take that for granted, because they can still fail, as I'll show you in a second. And then for all of these variables that you've got to learn, different resins, different temperatures, different speeds, all of these can adjust it. So it's a constant adjustment in terms of your settings and your printing, and I find it fascinating, but I kind of wish there was just one setting. You press the button and bang, it's done. Now, before I printed any figures, oops, sorry, not the camera. Before I printed any of the figures, I did actually print. They recommend printing this validation matrix to sort of test your printer, to make sure the settings are good and the settings are okay. So I did that, but it's warped pretty badly in the days since. But yeah, so I printed off the matrix, gave it a quick check. The things that you need to be looking for. So the point where the infinity kind of crosses has to be sharp. The dots have to be the same. The lines here look as if they should be able to slot into the gaps. I don't think it was perfect, but it was good enough. I wasn't going to muck around too much. So yeah, and again, if you know a lot about 3D printing and you can see something wrong with this, like what the hell, it's not set properly. Well, again, I know that there's an issue down here. There's a little bit of blockage there, but again, it looks fine to me. I don't expect it to be perfect, to be honest, but I didn't want to muck around too much. I wanted to get in and start printing figures, and this seemed to be okay. Again, if it's not okay, put down in the comments what's the problem and what I need to change according to this. What happened here? Maybe a little bit of not perfect printing there, but like I say, it was good enough for me to actually start. But let me know in the comments. Now, I have tried to print 5 miniatures. From those 5, 2 have been complete successes. 1 was a complete failure. It fell off the supports. And 2 have got problems. So what I'll do is I'll show you the prints that I've done and quickly show the details and everything. Right, so the models that I printed are from Archvillain Games, and the models that I tried to print were from the new sort of April 2022 sort of release, the Patreon release. It's the, what's it called? Nature's Wrath, Genir Ancients. So this is the first one that I tried to print. And this is one of their Gurnier heart trolls, and it's a lovely model. It's one of the models that when I looked at the sort of the complete collection picture that they post up, this is one of the models that kind of caught my eye and went, oh, I want. It's a really nice model, and this is actually one of the successes. I had no problems with this one whatsoever. The detail. See if this will focus. Come on, focus. There you go. The detail is amazing. It really is good. Every vein, every hair, every leaf shows up really well, including the little bird and the bird's nest at the top and the mushrooms growing off its back. It's a really nice model. Now, like I say, this one was the first model that I printed. Actually, I tried printing this one with another one, the Archvillain statue, That's the one that completely failed. That's the one that fell off the supports. So that kind of got melted into goo into the vat. melting. Yeah, that the statue basically fell off the supports. But this one that was being printed next to it came out, well, perfect. And it's really, really nice. I really love the detail on this thing. However, on the information from Archvillain, this is supposed to go on a, I think it says it's a 50mm base. Well, with Archvillain Games, they tend to give custom bases for all the figures. So this is the custom base that came with this. Again, these were printed at 100%. So the troll fits onto the base like that. It fits like that. There's little footprints on the thing where you're supposed to put his feet, so you can't get it wrong. So he fits on the base. Looks really good. Okay, the base is also really nice. Got plenty of mushrooms and fallen logs. Really, really nice. But the thing is, if I put this guy down for a second, it's supposed to be on a 50mm base. Now, this is a 50mm base. I don't think it's supposed to be a 50mm base. I think it's supposed to be a 40mm base. See, much better size. So I'm thinking that this guy, I think they've put down the details wrong. I don't, because like I say, I printed it at 100%. I think it's supposed to be a 40mm base, not a 50mm base, but I'm still well happy with this. In terms of size comparison, just give me 1 sec and I'll fix it to the base and we'll have a look. Okay, so I've fixed the Gurnier heart troll to its base and the base to a plastic base here. Again, this is a 40mm base, yeah? So in terms of size comparison, what do we have to compare with? Well, this is a 28mm weird miniature. Yeah. This is from Hassle Free. This is from Gurnier. This is from Gurnier. And maybe something a bit more its size. This is a Rackham Devourer. So in terms of height, you're looking at about the same height as a Rackham Devourer or a Rackham Wolfen from the old Confrontation game. But you can see it's much chunkier. Oops, coming off the blue tank. But yeah, you can get an idea about the size here. It's still a fairly meaty miniature and one that's really, 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 really nice. Now I am actually helping to playtest a dark fantasy skirmish game at the moment, so this is going to work really well for that. So this is the first one I printed. On the build plate I had this, and I had, like I say, the Archvillain statue, which I think fell off the supports halfway through. I'm thinking, well, I don't really know why. Maybe the supports were not strong enough for the weight of the model. But yeah, the statue was a failure. This one was a complete success. Let's move on to the next print. All right, so on the next set of prints, again, I had two models on the build plate, and one of them was one of the Grove bred druids. Now this is again, let's try and focus 1 second. Yeah, so this is one of 4 druids in the set. The troll just now was also one of 4 different designs. So this is one of the 4 druids in the set. Really, really nice. It's a 25mm figure. Again, the detail is amazing. Now, here's the problem. I had this on a build plate with another model, and the other model's a lot bigger than this. So when I was curing them, I was kind of doing the curing time for the bigger model, so I think I overcured this because look what bloody happened. The staff broke. Yeah, as I was preparing for this video, as I was like picking up all the miniatures and putting them to one side, I dropped this I dropped this from only like 2 inches above the table, and it hit the table, and the top of the staff broke off. Now, I might be able to glue... I'm hoping I can glue this because it's such a lovely model. I don't really want to print another one. So, yeah, like I say, the staff top will go on there. I'm going to try and glue it. I don't know whether I can... might be able to pin it. I'm not sure. I might have to cut off the top of the staff and actually pin right into the hand and then into the cross piece. Maybe. But yeah, like I say, except for that, it's a really nice model. But like I say, I think maybe, again, put down in the comments if you know about 3D printing. Because I've watched loads of videos and there's so many contradicting views and different opinions and everything else. And like I say, in 3D printing, all the variables have got so many different, you know, factors. So I'm thinking that I cured this for too long. That's why it may be a little bit too brittle. But yeah, it's a lovely model. So yeah, again, the staff top kind of really finishes the model off. It's got a little stone crescent moon there with an owl. Yeah, what a shame. But the model itself came out really nice. Again, I'm not too sure how well the detail is going to show up on this camera. But it is extremely nice. In terms of scale, well, I mean, the proportions look a little bit smaller and thinner to other miniatures I have. This may be more sort of realistic scale. I mean, if we take, like for example, if we take a miniature from cobblestone, in terms of height, it's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same in terms of height, but look at the size of the head. The druid's got a tiny head compared to the cobblestone figure. But in terms of height, looks about the same. But like I say, maybe the proportions on this are more realistic than the proportions on your typical wargaming mini. I don't know. I love it anyway. Really looking forward to painting this. Sorry. Even the straps on the little bag, look. Even the little straps are there. The dagger is so thin. I love it. I love the details on these. Archvillain Games, the sculpts are absolutely amazing. They're beautiful. The details are just amazing. Right, let me just get the base. Because again, I'm finding that all these miniatures come with their own sort of sculpted bases. So this is the base for this guy. Oops, hope that didn't break. I'm getting a little bit worried with these resin prints. You drop them, you break them kind of thing. Alright, so this is the base for this guy. Just give me a second and I'll fix him. Right, so I've just used a bit of blue tack to fix him to the base. This is a 25mm base. Might be better on a 32mm base or a 30mm base. But this is him. Here is our cobblestone casting. Again, this guy is a little bit higher because the base adds a little bit of height as well. But again, you can see in terms of scale, it is 28mm scale. But like I say, proportions look very, very different. What else have we got? We've got a black scorpion figure, sorry. We've got a Gurnier figure for scale. So you can see it matches up pretty well. He's a heresy miniature from Heresy again. So you can see it scales up pretty decently with other 28mm figures. But like I say, proportions are a little bit different. So if you put this in an army alongside, you know, GW or alongside Mantic, for example, the proportions may seem a little bit off. But it's a beautiful figure nonetheless. RPGs, absolutely perfect for an elven druid in RPGs. And again, if you want to create an army with this guy, there's nothing stopping you. Even if the proportions look a little bit off, go for it. If you love the model, go for it. Don't let anybody give you any stick. Use the models you like. And this is a beautiful model. So this is one of the Grove-bred druids. And like the troll, there are 4 different designs that you get in the Nature's Wrath set. Right, so along with the Grove Bred Druid, on the same print, on the same sort of build plate, I had another model, because just printing one single 28mm figure is a bit of a waste of time. So on the build plate, I also put what they call a Rootle, R-O-O-T-A-L. And I'll put a picture here or here. I'll put a picture up. And again, this model was a little bit of a surprise. Looking at the picture, you immediately think, that's a dwarf. That's a bloody forest dwarf. But then you notice that they say it's on a 50mm base. And then you kind of double take and look at the picture and think, actually, yeah, it looks a bit bloody big, doesn't it? Well, this is this is one of those Rootle figures. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Rootle. And it looks like a dwarf ogre. It's kind of ogre size, or maybe even giant size. But it looks like a dwarf. I love it. Again, the details are absolutely amazing. I'm marveling at the fact that it looks like he's some kind of like a vine magus, a vine magician, like a plant magician, and he can control these vines. And I just love the way that this printed out like this. I didn't have to. There's no assembly on this. This prints out like this. It prints out as one piece, and all these details, all the leaves, the vines, the beard hairs, the leaves inside the beard, the staff. It's just amazing. It really, really is amazing. The details are gorgeous, and again, I love this figure. It's going to work so well in this game that I'm helping to playtest. Oh, it's such a gorgeous figure. But like I say, the size was kind of a what the fuck? Because he looks like a dwarf. I mean, it could be good in an ogre army, maybe. GW or Mantic or wherever, I'm pretty sure that this could fit really well into an ogre army. It's like I say, the detail is absolutely amazing. The vines, the leaves, even on his belt there, you can see all the fibers. Can that focus? Can you focus? There you can see all the fibers and things in the belt. On his shirt, the strap that's holding the. Is it called a menhir or the boulder? Again, I don't know whether you can pick it up on the camera, but that strap is fully detailed. All the little pattern and details on that strap is all there. A little bit of a problem with the mouth. There was a little bit of resin sticking out from his lip, so I had to clean that up a little bit. I think I may have to go back and just touch up the mouth a little bit. I can still see a little bit of extra resin on there. A lot of supports on this, and also on the troll. So cleaning up takes a little bit of time. But yeah, the detail is absolutely gorgeous. And like I say, the design, the concepts are something very out there, you know what I mean? All these little packs of potions and drinks. It's a gorgeous model. And again, it comes with a base. Now this one, again, they say is 50mm base. Okay, so this is the custom base that comes with it. Not too thick. So the guy will. I'll stick him on here in a second so you can actually see him. But he stands on the base like that. Now, is it truly 50mm this time? Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a true 50mm. Yeah, this is a 50mm figure. The troll, I think the troll just looks a little bit small on a 50mm base. I don't know, I mean, could work, I suppose, on a 50mm. I think 40 mil is probably better for the troll. Yeah, 50 could work, I suppose. But this guy's definitely oops, a 50 mil base. Look at that. Look at that. If you don't want to use the custom base, you can just do your own base, stick him on. Looks brilliant. But custom base also looks really good. So just give me a second and I'll stick him down onto this so you can have a size comparison. Right, so I've put him on the base. It looks really good. It looks really good. I love this model, actually. I really do love this model. So yeah, that's a Rootle from the Nature's Wrath. Let's have a look at, in terms of comparison, in terms of size. Here we have our weird 28. Again, he's not a dwarf. He just looks like a dwarf. So there's a weird figure. Again, we've got our cobblestone here, our standard cobblestone. A little bit of heresy here. Little bit of hassle-free. So again, against kind of normal size 28 mils, yeah, he's big. He's ogre size, possibly giant size. In terms of bigger miniatures, let's take a look with our Devourer. Wow, he's about twice the size. I mean, in terms of height, yeah, again, he's a little bit bigger, maybe the same eye level. But in terms of mass, in terms of girth, in terms of mass, yeah, he's a lot bigger than the Devourer. Yeah, lovely model, absolutely love this. And again, there are 4 different sculpts of these Rootles. I think there's even one that's kind of sitting down, reaching out for like a bird or something. They're absolutely amazing. I'll put some pictures up so you can see the whole range and what's in the set, so you can decide whether you want to get it or not. But absolutely lovely. And again, this one, no problems. Right, so we've had the Gurnier Heart Troll. We had the Grove Bred Druid. We had the Rootle. Again, all of which have 4 different sculpts. And we had the Failure, which was the Archvillain statue that basically fell from the supports and basically didn't print at all. I had a bunch of supports there, but nothing else. The last one that I printed from this Nature's Wrath release by Archvillain Games, the last one I printed is the biggest out of these 3. Now, don't get me wrong, this next model is not the biggest in the set. There are 2 absolutely huge models. I think it's like an elemental, and then there's also like a tree man or something. They're absolutely huge, but this is kind of big big anyway. Now this, the last one that I did, was called a Verdant Ancient. So we can get into focus there. Now again, there are 4 different designs of these things. Again, I picked my favourites to print first. Look at the size of that bloody sword, look. So this is a Verdant Ancient. And again, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the design of these things. They would go so well in a forest army, a woodland army, a treant army, a dryad army, or even a wood elf army. You know, they would absolutely rock in an army of those. Absolutely gorgeous. All the details are absolutely amazing. Yeah, on the legs, let's get this thing in focus. You can see all the lines on the bark from the tree part of his body. And over on here, his tabard. Again, I don't have the best printer. I've got a creality halot 1, Halo 1, whatever you pronounce it. So it's essentially a budget printer. I think the layer height was 0.05. But this is still what you can get with just a cheap little printer like that. And the details on the belt, absolutely gorgeous. Now, this print, I did have a problem. And I'll show it to you right now. Oh, that's not focused. Okay. So if you look at his left horn, spirals around and then comes out at these little branches and leaves. Yeah. Now look at his other horn. The fuck happened there? the bit that goes from here and curls around to here, so it's missing. It's just not there. It's not broken off, it's just not there. So what I'm thinking, and again, for you guys who are into 3D printing and who have experience, maybe you can correct me, but I'm thinking that there were supports missing. Yeah, because if you the models are printed upside down, so it prints layer by layer. So if you have something, for example, like here, okay, this part is the highest position of this element here. If you don't have a support here, that's just going to print in the middle of nowhere and it's just going to float away. So I'm thinking what happened here is the same thing. The bottom of the horn didn't have the support. Now I did check the vat afterwards. I actually cleaned the vat afterwards because I thought that maybe this part had come off and there would be debris in the vat, so I had to clean it. But when I was cleaning it, there was nothing in there. So that's why I'm thinking that there were literally there was no supports or anything there, or maybe it's a problem with the file. I'll have to have a look. But all of these files that I printed were pre-supported. And to be honest, I didn't make any adjustments to these. I don't think, did I make any adjustments? No, I don't think I made any adjustments to these whatsoever. So I just went with what, because the manufacturer says they've been supported by an expert, they've been tested. Well, I don't think this one was tested very well because, but again, I could be wrong. It could be something that I did. This is a gorgeous model. I ain't going to throw this away. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is maybe cut off this part, cut off this section here, and basically sort of damage this end of the horn so it looks as if the horn's been broken off here at this point. Again, it's not focusing. Come on, focus, you bugger, focus. So I'm thinking of doing it so that it looks as if the horn's been broken off here. It's not going to look as good. It's not going to look anywhere near as good as if it had both the horns. But what to do? I can't sculpt another one. I'm not a sculptor. Now again, this bad boy came with... Yeah, look at the size of that bloody thing. Look. Focus. Size of this is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, this also came with a base. Its own custom base. This is it here. Lots of vines and growth and rocks. Big chunk of base. Now for this one, you can actually do as a hollow print rather than a solid print, so you can save a little bit of resin. And it all, oops, didn't break it, did I? One problem with this is that the base isn't flat. The base has a curve. Again, I'm not too sure. I mean, you can see how many supports it had. All these little dimples here is where a support was fixed, so I don't think it was a support. But yeah, I mean, I can sand it down and fix it to the base. Now again, this thing is supposed to be a 50mm base, and again, all these are printed at 100%. So this thing's supposed to be a 50mm base. Let's see, shall we? Now this is a 50mm base. It looks a little bit big, to be honest. It could work, I suppose, but it looks a little bit big. Now I do have, I think this is a 75. This is a 75mm base. Yeah, it's too big. So I'm thinking maybe 65mm would probably be the best size base for this. Yeah, I don't have 65 or 60mm bases. I've got this 75 and I've got this 50. On a 50mm, I mean, a little bit of overhang's okay, but this is quite a bit of an overhang. I may have to go with this one anyway because it's all I've got. So Just give me a couple of seconds and I'll fix it up. Right, here he is on his base. Just blue tacked for the moment. Again, absolutely gorgeous. This really would make a good centerpiece for your army. Maybe a tree ant replacement or a tree man replacement. Maybe there. I mean, there are tree men in the Nature's Wrath set. Yeah, you're more sort of traditional. I mean, they're more your traditional design, but they're not like any other manufacturer's tree men, to be honest with you. Again, I'll put some pictures up so you can see them. I might print those a bit later. I actually have something else I need to print first, but yeah, this is absolutely amazing. And again, there's 4 different designs of these, with different weapons and different stances and different bases. Absolutely amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. In terms of printing cost, well, if you don't include sort of the cost of the equipment, if you just think in terms of materials, I think this cost me $3 in resin. Is it $3 in resin? I can't remember. But you imagine what you'd be paying for this. Is it $3 or $5? There's no way that you'd be able to buy a miniature like this for $3 or $5 from a shop. I mean, the initial investment in terms of the printer, the curing, the resin, the IPA, the gloves and everything, I mean, it's an investment, but in terms of what you can actually make with it is absolutely amazing. I love this. All the models that I've made, I absolutely adore. I think they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I'm so tempted to print everything. But I've got to control myself because I don't have a lot of budget. I don't have a lot of money, so I've got to be a little bit more cautious in terms of my spending. Now, what I'll do is I'll quickly show you a size comparison with some of the other figures, and then I'll show you compared to some of the others that I've printed out. So this is one of the Verdant Ancients, and again, here we have our standard GW. The difference in size. Love it, love it, love it. Heresy, Black Scorpion, Devourer. Oh, the base is about the right height. So again, the Rackham Devourer is dwarfed by this bloody thing. And like I say, this isn't the biggest model. I think the Tree Men are bigger than this, and there is a Treeman Lord. There is an Elemental Lord, and they're huge bloody things. They're like, oh, big. But this is amazing. This took 8 hours to print. It took 8 hours to print and cost maybe $3 to $5 in terms of resin. Love it, love it, love it. Let me just quickly get the other models and put them next to these so you can see the whole set that I've made. Right, so here are the 4 models that I have made so far from Archvillain's April 2022 Patreon, or their April 2022 releases. Nature's Wrath, the Genir Ancients. I've basically tried to get a kind of little selection of models. Each of these has 4 different models. So they've got 4 trolls, 4 ancients, there's 4 rootles, there's 4 druids. There are, I think, 4 elementals, 2 tree men, 2 saplings, 1 bust. There's a huge bust of one of these. Some people like to paint the big busts. So there's a big bust of the head and chest of one of these Verdant Ancients. There's 1 huge elemental and there's 1 huge tree lord. I think that's it. There's like 30 different models, I think. 10 different types, but I think there's like 30 in total. Absolutely amazing. If you haven't looked at Archvillain Games, I highly recommend you do. The designs are... If you're a miniature gamer, if you're a tabletop gamer, look at Archvillain Games. They are jaw-dropping in terms of some of their details and the designs. Again, as with all miniature manufacturers, the designs, the styles, they're not going to be for everybody, obviously, but I love it. I love Archvillain, the designs. I've been wanting to get some of their stuff for the longest time. I actually wanted to get some from Only Games when I made an order with Only Games, but my budget wouldn't allow it. So now, oh, absolutely love these figures. So, first attempt at 3D printing, success and failure. I had one complete failure. I had a brittle part that broke off. I only dropped him from like 2 inches above the table, and the staff broke off. So I'm thinking that's a curing problem. The Verdant Ancient, there's a section missing here. Again, I'm thinking maybe it's this. There was no supports there. Again, I really don't know, because like I say, when I cleaned the vat afterwards, there was nothing in there. But yeah, really loving what I've done so far. I've got okay guys, when you get a 3D printer, one of the first things you do is to build up a library of STL files. You end up getting loads of the bloody things. You keep looking around going, oh, that looks nice, I can print that. Oh, that one's free, I'll download that one just in case I need a XXX kind of figure or a YYY kind of figure, you know. So I've got plenty of files to print. I do have a kind of project that I need to do next, I think. But yeah, I love it. The miniatures are awesome. The printing, like I say, success and failure. But I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to improve. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't been aware of Archvillain Games, well, now you do. Now you can see the kind of detail and figures that they produce. They've got a huge range of stuff. If you're thinking about 3D printing, I mean, I would recommend it. I mean, I've only started. I've only been doing this for about a week. But there's a lot of investment in terms of cost, equipment, consumables. It can also get a bit messy, especially when you're having to clean the vat and stuff. You're dealing with chemicals, so if you've got young children or pets, inquisitive pets, you need to be very careful. But it's worth looking into. I'm glad that I took the plunge. So guys, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye on the channel, a lot more coming. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. You know I ask this every time. But please do it. Just click the buttons below. Subscribe and like. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Cheers.